So how are you going to tell me obedience and submission are a bad thing? You following me? This was the plan he followed. And if it's good enough for Jesus, it should be good enough for us. But it's not. I mean, this is the Son of God who got down on his knees, took off dirty sandals, and washed his disciples' feet, which was the job of the lowest slave. He did that, and he said, so you should do to one another. Submission, obedience are not bad words. We've got a bad take on them. Now, some of you are thinking, yeah, but I know a jerk, and I should never submit to him. You're right, he's a jerk. But let's not talk about the exceptions. Let's talk about the rule. We should learn humility. We should learn submission. We should learn obedience. We all do anyway. We got to do what the boss says. Got to do what the teacher says. Got to do what your mom says. Got to do what the cop says. Got to do what the government says. We all learn submission and obedience. Jesus said, quote, "My food is to obey the will of the one who sent me and to finish the work he gave me to do." My food, the thing that makes me live, is to obey. This is God in human flesh. He says, I live to serve. That's what he said. I live to obey. He obeyed his earthly parents. He obeyed his Father in heaven. He obeyed the authorities. And Hebrews 5:8 says that he learned obedience through the things that he suffered. So when I say the people deals with obedience, I'm sharing with you a lesson straight from the heart of the Son of God. And in God's kingdom, everyone practices obedience and submission, and everyone practices leadership. We submit to secular leaders. Romans 13:1 tells us to do that. We submit to spiritual leaders. Hebrews 13:17 tells us to do that. Children submit to their parents. Colossians 3:20 tells them to do that, not to mention the Ten Commandments. Wives submit to their husbands. Colossians 3:18. Now, I said everyone practices submission. Everyone practices leadership. It's an interesting thing. At home, a wife may submit to her husband. She may go run a Fortune 500 company and lead 500 men. Everyone practices submission. Everyone practices leadership. Steve, certainly everyone doesn't practice leadership. Even little children lead younger little children. My 10-year-old's in the nursery right now taking care of the little ones. They look up to her. They come to her like this. She picks them up and loves them. She keeps them from getting hurt. I saw my 8-year-old with how old's Kaylin? Like 2? I saw an 8-year-old with Kaylin on the stairs in the gym, the bleachers, helping him down. Everyone practices leadership. Everyone practices submission. In God's children, submission is not a 4-letter word. So, to have a great family, we want to letter P, bathe it in prayer. We want to letter E, be even-tempered. We want to letter O, practice obedience. And to have a great family, we want the second letter P. This P stands for be polite. Be polite. P-E-O-P. Be polite. It's hard to be polite in a family. But with modern technology, we can do much better than we've ever done before. I've got a video clip to show you that's going to help you learn how to be polite at home thanks to modern technology.
Mom, I'm finding my homework a bit challenging. I wonder if you could spare some time to give me some assistance.
Well, son, I am a little bit busy at the moment, but as soon as possible, I will do everything I can to support your quest for knowledge.
I think I hear the doorbell. I wonder, is anyone available to see who it is?
I'm afraid it's not convenient for me right now. Perhaps you could take a moment from your televised sporting event and welcome our guest.
Certainly, dear. Hey, Bill, what's going on? I'm watching the game. You want to come and join me?
Hey, Bob. Well, I'm working in my yard, and I was just wondering if I could borrow your leaf blower.
Sure, it's out in the garage. Let's go this way.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot. So what, are you doing some painting or something?
Painting? Oh, no. You haven't seen one of these yet? It's called a virtual family voice transcoder. You see, no matter what I say, No matter how negative it is, this little gadget will make it positive and amplify it.
Excuse me, dear.
Excuse me, honey. Am I mistaken, or did you not say that you plan to take out the garbage?
Watch this. Get off my back. Thanks
I'll
for
do
the
it when I'm
reminder.
good and
I neglected
ready.
to do that, and I will remedy the situation at my earliest possible opportunity.
I don't believe it. What do they call this thing again?
The virtual family. It really keeps the peace around here.
You little brat.
Excuse me, my curious younger brother. It appears that someone has been reading my diary. Could it possibly have been you? Why, no. I have no knowledge of such an event. How unfortunate that such a thing has happened. Are you certain? The reason I suspected it might be you was the chocolate stains that are all over the pages. How strange. Surely I am not the only person around here who enjoys chocolate.
That's amazing. I gotta get those things for my family. Do they have them for the Mac?
Sorry, no. PC only.
Hey, it's getting a little heated over there.
You precocious youngster, let me give you a warm embrace. Not before I give you a soothing neck massage.
Children, do you remember what I said about interpersonal contact? Honey, our children are deeply engaged in conflict resolution.
Well, that doesn't look too peaceful.
Not to worry. Just got a new upgrade to the software. I'll take care of this when I get too physical. Watch this.
Electric shock?
A little one. They'll be out about 20 minutes. Besides, they could use the nap.
Well, I'm sold.
Honey, I don't know if I agree with your choice to incapacitate our children. I think we need to discuss this further.
You know, I just downloaded a new plugin just for this type of situation.
Oh yeah? What's it called?
Arise.
Virtual submission.
You know, they should have entitled that Don't Tase Me, Bro. Being courteous is not always easy. But you know, if you look at that, what they said in jest through their little PC adapter mouth thingy was good. Why do we have to get ticked at one another and start yelling? But we do. So, being polite, being courteous, it's extremely important if we're going to share a house together. If we're not considerate, we will disintegrate. We have to be considerate. We share bathrooms, we share kitchens, we share little hallways, we share the same air. We've got to learn to be considerate and polite with one another. Listen to what the Bible says. All of you live in unity. Be sympathetic with one another. Love one another as brothers. Be compassionate and be courteous. 1 Peter 3:8. So the P, the second P in people stands for be polite. The L in people stands for love. Proverbs 10:12. But love covers all transgressions. I like the way the contemporary English version puts it instead. Love overlooks the wrongs that others do. No matter how hard you try, you're going to fail. You're going to do something wrong. You're going to yell at somebody when you shouldn't. You're going to be selfish when you shouldn't. You can't help it. We're human beings. That's what we do. We make mistakes. So there's no way of being perfect. So how do we survive? How do we get along with one another? Well, we forgive. See, we will mess up. That's a given. So the way to move on is just to overlook it. Let love be stronger than anger, and let love cover over a multitude of sins. Psychology Today had an article called The Power of Love. Now, I don't usually read that sort of thing. I'm not much into modern psychology. It's an art and a science. Some of the science is bad, and the art is all bad. But some of the science is good. And this article really hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to read snippets of it for you. It's about love. It said, love is as critical for your mind and body as oxygen. It's not negotiable. The more connected you are, the healthier you'll be, both physically and emotionally. The less connected you are, the more you're at risk. There's a mythology in our culture that love just happens. But love doesn't work that way. To get love and to keep love, you have to go out and be active and learn a variety of specific skills. Do you hear what they're saying? They're saying you don't just fall into love and it all works. You're saying you got to work at love.